Well, that's what's left of the mailbox. So the mailbox used to be somewhere right there, and I'm just going off of visuals, what I see. I'm gonna try and walk you through what I think happened. The guy swerved to miss a deer, okay, and took my mailbox out, which is over here. The grass is way over yonder. So what I'm thinking happened, and I haven't talked to law enforcement or anything like that, so I'm just going off what I think. You can see the tire tracks right there where he run off through here, run down through here. He's off the road the entire time. Matter of fact, there's a headlight, or what used to be a headlight. I can see the tire tracks getting closer back up to the road, closer to the road, closer to the road, closer to the road. I don't see any tire tracks here other than this 18-wheeler tire track. And my guess is he whipped it off, whipped it back on, lost control, and off through the grass we go. Come right down through here. I'm getting 3 tire tracks. No, actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this tells me the vehicle was probably sideways at this point. That's what I'm guessing, or kind of cocked at an angle and coming in here like that instead of like this, because I got 4 tire tracks right here. Comes right over here, has a nice soft landing in the woods. Hallelujah, thank you, Lord. He didn't hit a tree or that telephone pole back there head on. Nice soft landing, kind of just right in here. This is like a briar patchy, briar thicket type thing. Hey, I tell you what, look, here's some more evidence right here. Let's see what we got. That looks like a, let's see, I might can tell by this. This right here, all right, that's gonna be a, oh, it's hard to tell which way, this way or this way. It's hard to tell if that's a right side or a left side mirror. Whoops, that fell off. It's hard to tell. I was trying to look at that and maybe tell which side of the truck went in. Here are some sunglasses. I can't, Ray-Bans, I really can't tell anything by that. This is my hose pipe right here. That's got to come out anyway. So that's kind of where he ended up. And again, thank goodness he was not injured in any way, shape, or form. From what I gathered, hey look, he had a mask. I guess a lot of people have a mask these days, don't they? So I think with him sliding sideways, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think this helped him. Number one, super flat area right here, really flat. This happened Sunday night around 10:30 p.m. and I had just watered that afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 3, 4, 5 o'clock or so. So the grass may have been wet a little bit still, so that could have helped him slide. Not sure if that's the case. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And we're out here at my shop. The Bermuda, rye, blue Muta, all that stuff's looking good. We did have a little hiccup, and I know a lot of you have always commented, hey, somebody's gonna run through that grass and tear it up and all that. Well, it happened. It finally happens. My wife's cousin was the investigating sheriff deputy, and then you know, my brother's highway patrol, which he wasn't here, but one of his buddies was here. I didn't get any info from that side, but the sheriff department, my wife's cousin, did shoot me a message, and he said, matter of fact, let me tell you what he said. I just kind of got this text out of the blue. You're going to need a new mailbox and maybe a little grass seed. So of course I have cameras everywhere around here. It's about 15 or 18 cameras around here. They all got motion detectors on them. So when anything moves around here, it alerts me on my phone. And of course I pulled it up. I got sheriff sitting in the driveway and highway patrol. And right about then is when my sheriff buddy texted me, and I learn what was going on. So I know everybody's question is how to fix it. Well, I'm gonna show you how to fix it in a minute. I know you probably got another question. Well, how pissed off are you, Pete? You know, you spent all this time out here, all this money, all this effort in dirt, grass seed, fertilizer, equipment, time, making videos, just all kind of effort has went into this little 7,000 square foot of grass. Well, of course I'm not pissed off. It's grass, you know what I mean? I walk on the stuff every single day. It's underneath my feet. It's grass. At the end of the day, it's grass. That's all it is. The main thing that matters here is this gentleman was not hurt. I don't know him. May not ever get to meet him or whatever, but I do know for a fact that he was not injured in any way. Yeah, of course, his car or truck was probably tore up pretty good, but he wasn't hurt. And human life is hands down the single most important thing on this planet. I mean, can you name me one thing that is more valuable than a human life? And I know some people get really worked up about it when they pull off in your yard and they rut it up and you just freaking lose it and go crazy. I get it, I understand, it's a passion, right? People have passions, and when you're passionate about something and when that is interrupted in some kind of way, shape or form, you tend to get a little agitated, right? I'm passionate myself. I'm quite passionate about my faith. I'm quite passionate about my wife. I'm quite passionate about my kids. I'm quite passionate about my guns. I'm quite passionate about my Star Wars collection. And I'm passionate about my work. I'm passionate about turf. I'm passionate about making videos and showing you all this stuff. But the thing that kind of makes this different from those other things I've mentioned is I can replace this and fix this, okay? You can't replace my faith. My faith in Christ is rock solid. It cannot be moved, swayed, or corrected. And it cannot be replaced by anything else on this planet or in this cosmos. My wife can't be replaced. She just can't. I found the woman that'll put up with my crap on a day-to-day basis, and I want to keep her. My kids cannot be replaced, right? You can't duplicate them. As a matter of fact, there are sometimes I don't want them duplicated, right? Yes, my guns can be replaced, but I'm not willing to go through the effort to replace them. So I'm just going to keep the ones I have. And my Star Wars collection. That's something that really can't be replaced, to be honest with you. That's why I keep a tight watch on it. So the moral of that story is, it's grass, it can be replaced. The man wasn't hurt. A lot of things can be replaced in life. There's no need to get in a tizzy over a yard. Let's fix it. Now, where the vehicle slid in here sideways, and I'm just gonna call it sideways, although I don't know the facts. There wasn't two vehicles, it was one, and you can kind of see he kind of come off of the road. Matter of fact, from back here, I can see black skid marks on the road, so he actually started skidding and sliding on the road, probably hit the grass and went shoo, just like that, really quickly. So these areas right here, that is basically just burned turf, okay? There's no indentation. It's still pretty flat right here and even. It just kind of skint the foliage off. You can still see the crowns of the plant all down through there. This will probably heal up on its own. Now I'm talking about the Bermuda right here, okay? The Kentucky bluegrass, you know, my line is somewhere right about here. So from here over, I'm actually going to drop a little bluegrass seed right in these lines right here. And then this one right here, put a little water on it, let it do what it does. Whether the Bermuda fills in this year or next spring, I don't care, I don't know. It will get back to its original glory sooner or later. Now over here, this part did kind of ruffle my feathers a little bit. Let me explain why. I have a gate over there, and that gate has a lock on it. That lock on it has a key, and that key is in my pocket. I kind of wish I would have got a phone call where I could have let the tow truck come in and come right here and remove the vehicle out. But instead, he decided to drive right across the front yard. And you can kind of see the tow truck tire tracks right there. He didn't do any damage right there. He come in, he circled right around through here. And you can see this is where some damage occurred. You can see right here, he kind of had to wiggle around and jiggle around to get in here the right way. My guess is that's where the muffler was at, because that turf was burned and it probably got hot right there. But he did do some pretty good indentions over here. I'm gonna call that, just filling it, I'm gonna call that a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch rough. And you know, you typically don't see this in my yard, but that's a scalp mark. And since I reel mow this at a 1/2 inch, I keep it really, really tight. Any imperfection in the grade, any change in elevation or grade, little dips and humps and bumps, anything like that, that reel mower is going to scalp an area, and you can see that's what's happened here. Here was the tire track right here. Here was a second tire track that tells me this is a dual wheel vehicle, and then that was what was left in the middle, and the weight of the truck mashed down here and kind of pressed up in the middle. So I need to fix this. You can see I've got several scalp marks. I never had these before. I never had these scalp marks ever before. Here's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, here's one, there's one right there. So what happens is when my mower comes across here, it dips down and the blade gets to this hump before the entire mower raises up, and so the blade cuts that down lower and then drops back down in the hump and then scalps again. So how do you fix this? Do I lower this part or do I raise the part where the tires were at? Well, I raise the part where the tires are at to make this flush and level across here. Since this is tightly cut ryegrass and Bermuda grass, it's a super easy fix. I went to Lowe's, grabbed me a few bags of sand. They actually had the sand for 50% off because the bags had been busted, so I bought 11 bags of it. So I'm basically gonna come out here and fill in my ruts out here. I'm gonna take my level rake and I'm gonna level it all back up, rake it nice and smooth again. I'm gonna put me a little bit of grass seed down in the scalp spots and I'm gonna roll with it. So it would have been nice if the sand was super dry, and you can tell, I guess, where it's set outside at Lowe's with the open bag is a little bit damp. So it didn't rake out really, really easy, but it raked out good enough. So you can see here, I actually went ahead and fixed these couple little spots. As it got closer to the edge of the bed, it did get a little bit deeper than I'd like. I put a little seed on it, filled them in, slicked it down. I'm good to go. All right, so there you go. Getting comments from people asking, am I growing a mullet? No, I don't grow a mullet. My hair's just long. I ain't had time to go get it cut. So it's a little bit bushy right now. So I kind of like it, to be honest with you. So Bermuda, you're good to do it this way. Kentucky bluegrass, you're good to do it this way. Ryegrass that you cut down short, you're good to do it this way. Basically any grass you cut down short, you're good to do it this way. Let's say you got some tall fescue or bluegrass or rye that you cut up higher, anywhere from 3 to 4.5 inches is what I'm calling high. Let's say someone comes in and ruts your yard. I personally have never been a fan of taking a material, whether it be dirt, sand, topsoil, compost, peat moss, whatever, and filling in a rut. What I'm calling a rut is maybe 1 inch or deeper, and trying to level out fescue. I've never been a fan of putting material on top of fescue. The Reason is, I feel like it will smother it out. What I like to do with fescue when it's rutted from tire tracks or something is remove the fescue from the rutted area. Whether you dig it out, you could take a tiller and till it back into the ground and mix it in real good with the ground. Add your dirt, reseed it, resod it, whichever one you prefer. But the main point of that is to remove the existing fescue from the rut first. Now you can cut it out with a shovel, fill it up with dirt, and relay the fescue on top and kind of sprinkle a little seed in between the joints if it don't butt up together real good, and that'll work. If I've got a mature plant down here in the bottom of a rut, and this right here is my finished grade, and I fill it up with dirt and then put grass seed on top of it, first what's going to happen is that grass down in the rut is going to lay down and flatten out and create a layer, right? So now you've got a layer of some thick, hopefully it's thick, a thick fescue matted down because it's covered up with dirt. And then below that, you might have some thatch. You have a thatch layer, and then below that you've got a root system. So now that grass seed you just laid up on top, you're asking it to grow through the dirt, through the fescue layer, through another thatch layer, and then through another root system. And I just don't go for that. I mean, you know, I know everybody's probably got their own opinion on it. I personally don't like to do it that way. I would much rather remove the fescue, and that would be by shovel or sod cutter, physically remove it, fill it up with dirt, relay the fescue or reseed the fescue, and be done with it. Or if you have a nice clean strip and you've got one of those little thin tillers, you can till it all up, the rut, till the rut up. And of course you're gonna have a bare dirt rut through your yard, but once you work all that fescue and the thatch and everything into the dirt and just really pulverize it, mix it good, you'll be fine to fill it up and then put some grass seed on top and have at it with the water. So hey, there you go. Like, subscribe, and share, and tell all your buddies. I hope this helped you. And again, it's grass. At the end of the day, you walk on it. It's nothing but grass. It'll grow back. It's completely fine. I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion ill, upset, mad, pissed off, ticked off at this gentleman. Yeah, it rubbed me a little bit raw when the tow truck drove through the front yard when they could have easily called me and I could have got him inside and they could have pulled him out over here. But again, it is what it is, okay? It's a done deal. The cool thing is next spring, I'm gonna bring a dump truck load, maybe 2 dump truck loads of sand in here. And I'm gonna do a complete sand leveling of this entire area. That'll be once we kill out the ryegrass on this side. We're gonna level out the whole thing. I've got my guy that does a lot of welding for me. He's gonna be building me one of those big 8-foot or 10-foot wide level thingamajiggies. And we'll get out here with a mower and drag it around, and that'll be pretty fun. And we'll get this thing super level, super fine-tuned, then push the Bermuda on this side, Bermuda, and push it so it comes on back up through the sand, and we'll start mowing all over again, right? So hey, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I will check you later.